Hello and welcome to Lifetime Record, the podcast where we discuss your favorite made-for-TV movies. Whether you love to watch or yourself loving them, pour up a glass of your favorite cocktail and join us. I am your host, Patrick Serrano, and my guests today are...
I am Drew Current.
And I am Amy Couey.
Yeah.
So here's the song that I wrote for your name.
Oh.
Amy Couey. Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's track number 3 on our new album coming out called Drew Sings People's Names.
Drew Sings People's Names.
Yep.
The album.
The album.
That's the whole title of it.
Parentheses, Lifetime Record.
Lifetime Record.
Hashtag rate and review us. Emojis, please. Okay, great.
Okay, great. We got the business out of the way.
That's right. So we are here for another. So what's crazy is these are coming out daily. So we're trying something new. Like we're doing an advent calendar for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is going to be a lot of episodes.
Yeah. Every day.
Every day.
Every day we in your ear.
That's
Every
right.
day we in it.
Oh.
And, we just want to say Merry Christmas, and we hope you're having a good holiday season. And,
we
the holidays are tough sometimes.
We do have to say that we are recording these as they come out, and these are, right now, it is before Halloween. Right now.
Correct.
As
Yes.
we're recording this. So, there might, I need to
Yes.
put like some spooky things and stuff.
Only
sometimes.
only Patrick Serrano could get me to watch a Christmas movie before Halloween.
Before Halloween. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
For no one else.
No one else.
For no one else.
There you go. That's my magic.
It's
That's
magic.
like my magic manipulation of people.
It's the magic of Patrick's Christmas.
Yeah, I really wish I had a better superpower, but I guess it's just making people watch Christmas movies. So, fuck me, I guess. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right.
That's a pretty cool superpower, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't like fight villains with. Well, no, maybe you could.
Yeah, I'd be like, you're going to watch all the Christmas movies.
And they're like, fine.
You're like, ah.
And then they
But
watch them, and they're like,
not so bad. Because,
and their heart grows 3 sizes.
I treat people nice. You come to my house to watch a Christmas movie, I'll treat you nice. Okay,
got
we
some-
did IMAX today. We had a day. We went through
Oh
it.
hell yeah! You
We're
got
even
some
matching it
charcuterie.
right now.
Yeah.
We did a little
Maybe.
charcuterie because
Yeah.
I just did what I had in my house.
And
But what you just have, what Patrick just has at his house, is totally charcuterie.
3 different kinds of cuttable cheese.
Yeah, I was like, bring a snack, Couey. I don't have a lot of stuff. I didn't go to the store this week.
but totally a
Salsa.
meat and cheese tray.
Guacamole.
Boom.
Hummus.
Cheese.
3 different
thing.
kinds of crackers.
Hell yeah!
Fresh
I don't
vegetables.
have much.
Give me a can of coffee I'd never had before
Oh,
with
yeah.
coconut cream instead of dairy.
Ooh.
Yeah, no dairy in my
wish I
house.
was there.
Except for cheese.
But it was pretty great.
All right, so we're not here to talk about charcuterie. We're here to talk about our Lifetime movie. This movie is called No Time Like Christmas.
Yeah, no time.
There's no time like Christmas.
No, that's true.
Especially in October. This movie stars Kyla Pratt, Edward Ruttle, and Sophia Bachart.
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 Is it Bachart or Bachart?
I'm
I
going to
don't
say
know.
Bachart.
Burker.
It's Burker.
None of those people matter. Kyla Pratt, I guess, is notable. I think she was in Nickelodeon or Disney Channel or something.
Something. Who
Something
knows?
like that.
Who knows? There's no way to find out.
I'm looking on IMDb. She was on
Actually, the Christmas Pact last year.
I remember that one.
Yeah?
I think she's cute,
Well,
but
when you Google her, one of the frequent questions asked is if she is related to Chris Pratt.
Oh,
Right.
And I'll tell you, probably not.
Probably not.
I'm gonna say probably not.
I'm gonna say probably not. She is
Could
a,
be.
she is a POC, but she, maybe they're cousins.
Could be.
You could have cousins of a different race.
Or she's adopted or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I just think it's funny how people go, oh, they have the same last
that's
name.
where
Right.
it
They're
goes
family.
immediately.
Yeah.
Well, of course. So, okay, we
That's
start
what
off
I was wondering.
with the movie. Right? We start off. I will say this, Drew. This movie, just off the bat, so you are aware,
Okay.
was written by somebody who's pretty new to the TV movie writing game.
Okay.
And I looked her up. I think I wrote her name down here. Her name is Anita Hughes. And Anita Hughes, I'm sure you are a nice person. I'm sure you're the nicest person.
Uh-oh.
This movie was written based on a book, so she had some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not kidding. Every line is like dripping with exposition and backstory.
Oh, good.
Every line.
Oh, that's fun. Well, fun for me. Maybe not for you.
It's fun for
watching
you,
it.
but it'd be like if like, hello, welcome to Lifetime in Court. My name's Patrick Serrano. I'm from Maryland. Oh, I don't want to say real things about me because someone will stalk me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from Maryland, and my Social Security is this and all this stuff, and my parents died in a fire. And
I can't believe you wore the sweater that your sister borrowed from you in 8th grade and then didn't know that Daryl liked you when you were wearing it, but has that picture of you in your wallet still.
every line of dialogue. Every
Yeah.
line of dialogue.
Okay.
Well, remember when
I'm
we
ready.
graduated from college and 13 years ago, even though that would make us 17 years old, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it was just every part of it.
was wild. So it was a lot to the point of being nonsensical. And I was telling Couey this when we were watching it. I'm like, think about it like you're watching a movie in a different language. And what they're saying doesn't really matter. You get the gist and the vibe of what they're going for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then
Yes.
it makes it more enjoyable.
Yeah. No, you're just like, okay. Well,
Because even with my note taking, because I have a blog, okay, and I post my notes, and for this I just like wrote minimal stuff. I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't care about the sweater they got in middle
the
school.
Actors. I didn't like it.
Right? Yeah. All right. So just prefacing that, just in your mind, anything that I say, know that it was expressed in a lot of dialogue that
Okay.
I had to
Great.
sift through.
I may need to hear the expositional
Sure.
line.
Great.
Yeah. At some, not all times, but
Right.
sometimes.
So we start off. We have a cool LA girl.
Yeah.
Her name's Emma, and she works in advertising.
Of course.
And just right off the bat, we see that her bed is 5 feet away from a tub.
A bathtub?
A bathtub.
So
a claw
either
bathtub.
her
Clawfoot bathtub.
master bedroom has a tub, or
Cool.
She sleeps in her bathroom.
she sleeps in her bathroom.
I think she sleeps in her bathroom.
I think
Because it was tile floor.
right.
The whole thing was
Yes.
tile.
And knowing the prices in Hollywood, I understand.
it's LA. So
I mean, the prizes in LA.
she works in advertising. She doesn't work in something lucrative like brain surgery.
Right. Only advertising, because that's not lucrative.
Right. So she gets to work, and her boss. Most of the people in the movie are POC. I will tell you when they're not POCs, because that is the exception to the rule. Her boss is not a POC.
Okay.
Okay, because it's on Lifetime. We got Lifetime. They just kind of not integrate. What am I saying?
I don't know.
They just like have people of color in the world like it normally
Like it
Integrated,
normally
yeah.
is.
integrated. I didn't want to like get too political.
Sure.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's just interesting
Diverse.
where they.
It's a normally diverse. It's like
That-
they have a
that's what
normal
it-
Yeah.
diverse.
but it's
diversity.
interesting where the choices are made. Of like, yeah. I thought that was really interesting.
Right. So the boss calls her into the office right when she gets here, and she's like, "Where have you been? I need to talk to you." And
Finally.
she's like, "Are you firing me? Like, what's going on?"
She's like, I'm here on time. At
Right.
Work.
Yeah, she's like, "I'm here for my normal work time." But the boss is like, "Actually, we have this new campaign for Frost watches. And it's going to be released on Christmas Eve. And they want you to be the head advertiser person."
Already, that is a
Terrible idea,
very terrible marketing idea.
right?
Yeah, because nobody's going to have any expendable income for like 4 months.
Yeah, or they've already bought all their Christmas presents.
Yeah, you're already done. You should have started like when we're recording right now in October.
Right. So,
But she says, and I quote, "You know how these eccentrics are. They get these grand ideas and they want it now."
Oh, they're trying to pinpoint, like do a specific niche.
I'm telling you, every line had a back
right.
end.
I'm liking this so far.
And
I don't know.
Emma is like, "Fine, I'll do the Frost Watch campaign, no big deal." She goes home to her empty apartment with her takeout Chinese and her glass of wine.
And her
She
tub.
FaceTimes her sister, who only speaks in exposition.
Yeah.
Only
Right.
speaks in exposition. I don't think she has any feeling, any emotion, any thoughts.
Cool.
She just is literally a robot
Yeah.
saying exposition.
Yeah. It's an exposition robot.
She is. I mean, it is, because it doesn't even have a gender. It's just a
AI.
talking
It's
robot.
It's an AI. Yeah.
So later we are at an antique store, and Emma finds a very special watch, which is kind of like Frostwatch, but not.
Okay.
It's like an antique watch because it's in the antique store. And the antique store owner, he comes over, and Drew, the antique store owner, whoa,
Yeah.
he is not a POC. He is,
Jerry from Parks and Rec.
Yes.
yes.
I was like, yay, this makes up for it.
Yay.
He pops in and he's like, oh, hey. And she's like, what? What?
She's like, Jerry Gergich
Well-
from Parks and Rec?
I think she's more surprised that he like came out of nowhere. But yes, also that he's on Parks and Rec.
So yeah.
And then it's really weird because he dropped everything on the table, turned around to pick it up, split his pants, and farted through the hole. No, I'm just kidding.
But yes, so he is like, oh, that watch is very important, but I can see it means a lot to you because there's an engraving on the back. She got it engraved for her boyfriend in high school,
College.
whatever.
Okay.
Because they were very specific to tell us how long it had been.
13 years.
13 years.
13
Like I said,
years.
which would have made him 17.
It's a horror movie.
But I was in college at 17,
13
right, me too.
years.
but like you didn't graduate at 17.
No.
I started.
I graduated college at 17. That's
Wow,
not true.
you're amazing.
Yeah.
Dookie.
But the antique owner, Jerry, we'll just call him Jerry because I didn't write down his real name. Jerry is like, you know
that's
what?
fine.
This watch means a lot to you. You can just have it for free. And, I wish you a Merry Christmas and blah, blah.
He
When-
said you can just have it?
Yeah.
yeah. And he gives it to her.
And it's like a beautiful pocket watch engraved.
okay.
It's really pretty.
engraved. And she takes that with her and she's going right to Vermont. That's where she's from.
Yep.
Okay.
Go to
Yes.
Vermont.
And we
The
learn
most Christmassy place in the world.
very Christmassy. We learn her ex-boyfriend lives in London and is a theater director. Okay, very successful, very famous theater director, and they used to do Christmas recital or pageants in their hometown in Vermont.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Sure. Yeah.
so she gets to Vermont. Her sister's just like spewing exposition at her and like literally telling her like all this stuff about her kids and the parents and I don't know what's going on.
So much.
But she's like, you're working on the big Frost Watch campaign. You can't possibly stay at my house. You're going to stay at a hotel or an inn in Vermont.
A B&B.
An Airbnb.
And I was like, that is so
or
nice.
just a regular B&B.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Not an air one, but like a regular one.
Yeah.
A regular one. And she gets there, and the inn owner is really like nice. And he's just like, oh, I'm
Great
so
beard.
glad you're here. Where have you been? I missed you in all those pageants. Do you still play the piano? You're great at piano.
She's like, she's too busy for hobbies.
Too busy for the hobbies of playing piano.
Before she got to the inn or to the B&B, was there someone to be like, you don't want to go up there to that mountain?
There was no harbingers.
Okay, no.
No. But they do
I'm
mention
trying to make all of these movies
No,
horror
yeah.
movies.
Well,
No.
but she was standing in the entrance for less than 30 seconds, dinged the bell, and the man showed up in seconds. I was like, oh, so sorry.
Oh,
That
wow.
was so it's the opposite of Harbinger because of the customer service that
Oh,
was
so this is like very
so-
good customer
yes.
service.
yes,
Great.
and he gives her like a little pamphlet. He's like, "There's a Christmas festival in town. You gotta go." And she's like, "You know what? I could take a break from working out. Go to the festival." She goes to the festival, and this little girl is like, "Excuse me, miss. There's a play coming.
Come and play
You
with
gotta come audition. No, you gotta audition for the play, and blah blah blah. It's gonna be great." And let me tell you all about it. It's from this really fancy director from London. His name's Fletcher, whoever.
Conway.
Fletcher.
Or
Yeah.
something.
Whoever.
And she's like, Fletcher, that's my ex-boyfriend. And then Fletcher comes around the corner and he's like, daughter, who are you talking to?
And the daughter could actually, if you could pass as like Miley Cyrus's daughter.
Okay.
And
Sure.
Fletcher, as Patrick said, is Chicago hot.
Yes.
Meaning he absolutely took an improv class, the
Yeah.
brownish longer hair,
Yes.
a faded beard,
yeah.
thick thighs and tight pants.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely looks like somebody I went to Second City with.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I know.
And both these people are
But a Canadian
non-POCs.
actor.
Yeah, very Canadian. And they... Emma is like, oh my God, I can't believe my ex-boyfriend's here. And he has a daughter.
Oh, boy.
What's he doing in town?
dum, bum,
This
bum.
is a setup. She like goes back to her sister. She's like, you set me up. They're staying in that inn too. And she's like, haha, I followed him on social media and I know all about him. And, you're going to marry him and blah, blah, blah.
But his daughter wasn't in any of his posts.
Yeah, I didn't
It's
know he had a
fate.
daughter.
She said it's fate, I think 5 times during the movie in different spots.
Well, then you know it is.
Yes.
If someone says it's fate more than once, then it's fate. That's a rule.
Right. So since Fletcher is this very famous director, he goes to the town theater. The town theater is run by Jerry.
Oh, I like
And Patrick's
it.
like, how did he get there?
I'm like, he's from LA. He's an antique owner. And Emma's like, you
Oh,
look
wait,
familiar.
Wait,
Were
what?
you? And he's
Oh yeah, we're in a different town.
yeah, we're in Vermont, and he's the exact same person.
Mm-hmm.
And they try to bring it up, and he just like shrugs and's like, don't worry about it.
And then continues on with the tour.
Yeah, does a tour of the theater. They're about to close the theater, but this new play that Fletcher's working on will save the theater,
Yeah.
or it'll be a good last hurrah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everyone is expecting us to do this play, so we have to do it. And Emma, you used to work on the plays, so you should like help us. And she's like, I really haven't played piano in a long time. I'm just not good at
Yeah.
it. And the Jerry is like, I'll give you a key. You can come practice and when we're closed. No big deal.
Is there some? Is there is Jerry?
I
magic?
don't know. We'll see.
Is
We'll
he a
see.
magic person?
I'll say
God,
he's,
you love
he's
Christmas
always
magic.
Is he Santa
he's
Claus?
always lit very in a lot of light.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but okay. Is he an angel? Oh,
He's
an angel.
He's backlit a lot by
He's
an
an angel.
extra spotlight.
He's an angel.
Okay. I don't know.
Or-
You
or-
said it, not
or-
me.
Or Santa Claus.
So Lola, the daughter's name is Lola. She's really pushing for Emma to be a part of the show now that she knows that her and her dad were like friends, or she doesn't really know the relationship, but she's like, you gotta do the show. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. You know how kids are. You're a stranger, but I'm a kid, and you can't not.
Yeah, they're
Right.
stupid.
You
and-
gotta do it.
Yeah, they're
But
stupid.
I will
They're all
say, she was one of the best actors in
Yes.
the entire movie.
Oh,
the,
okay.
the daughter, Lola.
Is it creep you guys out too when a child is a very good actor? I feel like it's a weird.
No, I think I love it. It's my favorite thing.
I like
Yeah.
it because I hate a bad child actor can ruin an entire movie for me.
Right.
Absolutely.
But when I think about it, I was like, how are you so good? You shouldn't be. I don't know. I just
think
want to put
those.
that out there.
I
It's
think that
weird.
those are
It's weird
like,
to
for
me.
instance, I'll toot a horn for myself. I believe anyone can do art. It is all about discipline and stubbornness and
Sure.
training, the same way martial arts or anything that you have to take time to develop and learn over time. But I also do believe that some people are born with things. And so when I see a child actor, it kind of shows me like how I could just I didn't realize that I was special as a child when it came to artistic things. I thought everyone could do it because I could do it. So then I realized, I was skilled.
So it's just that they got
They got touched by the acting gene.
and
It's
they
true.
encouraged
And
like,
this girl
oh.
did. And, everyone in the movie, also, while we're speaking about the arts and being gifted, thinks any artistic thing is a total hobby. They only refer to,
Oh, yeah.
theater directing, hobby. Piano playing, hobby.
Painting.
Set painting, hobby. Everything's a hobby.
And it just, as we watched the movie,
It
my
snowballs.
blood pressure
It snowballs.
just continued
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
to
You'll-
go up
Even
and
though
up.
it's a job. I mean, it's a job. You
not
see
it, not in this world.
True.
Not in this world. Everyone else has different jobs.
Okay.
And they do those things as a hobby. So Emma, speaking of hobbies, she sneaks into the theater. And
Even though all these people are getting paid and make a living from doing this.
Well, not Emma, because she sneaks into the theater. She plays the piano and sings Silent Night. And gotta tell you, girl, we've been talking about singing in these movies a lot.
Yeah.
And we're only on the third one. This singing in this movie, oh my God, it was bad.
It was good. Oh,
bad.
hairs raised up on my arms within the
So
first
terrible.
like she was singing Silent Night, and it was like, as soon as she was like, I was like, ugh.
She was trying to do like melismas and stuff, but she like was flat and like
she was-
pitchy and like all over the place.
Wow,
No
really?
breast support. I'm like, who is this woman? Why is she singing? There's no reason. She has no single out, nothing.
They didn't even try in the
that's-
auto tune or anything.
Well,
Okay.
later. But that's where I'm like, okay, how about we start focusing on the fact of, great, I'm so glad that we are making sure that we have POC representation in things. But I know, I could bet that there are POC actors that can sing.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just putting it out there.
You're crazy.
Thank you.
Thinking
Yeah.
that.
But she sings Silent Night, and Fletcher comes up and he's like, wow, that was amazing. That was amazing. And she's like, thanks. And they talk about, being from Vermont and their relationship, and they're like reconnecting, basically, is what's happening there. But he's so inspired by her singing that he is like, we really need to work together. We really need to work together. And she mentions that she found the watch. And she's like, I found your watch, and it's so weird. And he's like, oh, I'm so taken by the story that you went to an antique store and got the watch. I'm going to write a play about that.
I'm gonna write
Instead.
I'm gonna write a play, dude.
So I was working on this one project for the theater, but in 2 weeks, I'm going to turn around. I'm going to write a play. You're going to write the music, and we're going to do a play
2 weeks.
On Christmas Eve.
on Christmas Eve. No
2
big
weeks
deal.
away. I mean, and just so you and our listeners know, we all three were a part of running a theater for 5 years. We had 4 lights, a very small soundboard, and nothing on our stage. And putting up a show in 2 weeks
Take it easy
would
on
have
the soundboard.
been
Whoa.
impossible.
Yes. I mean,
Impossible.
2 weeks, that's a quick turnaround.
Oh no, you couldn't do
It made
That's not
me
possible.
sick. I mean, and again, it's going to keep happening. So I'm just going to go ahead and get it out now. It makes me understand even more why people have no concept of what I do for a living. Mm-hmm. I tend to do scenic painting, and I tend to do all kinds of things. But it makes me understand how little people understand the depth.
Well, you don't tend
of what
to.
I do.
You do.
Well, I tend to do a lot of different things.
Lean toward, it's like no, I
No,
don't
no.
do that.
I'm just saying, like, I don't just do scenic painting.
Right.
I build what I'm not. I'm not going to list the list, but it's just that was my first little tick of being like, God, people just don't get it.
Yeah, they just
Right.
But it just keeps like it becomes a woodpecker.
It does.
Well, what
because
you were saying, like the person who wrote this has got to be it's their first
Right.
time, and they just probably like
yeah.
we're
Yes.
at a gala, and was like, oh, you right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what happens is, the daughter Lola, she's like, "Well, we got to start marketing this play. It's in 2 weeks. Let's go hand out flyers." They're handing out flyers
Without even talking to people.
without talking about there's like a draft of the script. They're handing out flyers.
The actors are like, sorry, what?
Oh, there are no actors yet.
Oh. Okay.
They haven't had auditions.
They haven't had auditions
Drew.
yet. They're telling people to come to auditions, and
This is-
the show. Well, they're not
yeah.
telling anybody. They're just walking around town, handing out flyers, talking about Lola's dead mom and how she
okay.
is sad and misses her mom. And,
Oh wow.
and Emma's like, "Don't worry about your mom dying. Like, we're gonna get this play going, and your mom will watch it in heaven." This is what I'm talking about, exposition, because they're doing a task completely unrelated to the thing.
Is
and they're
this
talking
a
about something else.
Lifetime?
This is
Lifetime.
Yeah.
This is Lifetime.
Wow.
So auditions happen, and the actors that show up they're all assigned to sing Silent Night, and it's supposed to be the bad singing of Silent Night, but they're trained singers, so they understand what they're doing with their voice.
So it's hard. It's yeah.
It's
It's like, for instance,
comedy singing,
right?
It's
So
funny singing.
So one girl, she's like, no,
no,
it's good. This is why it's funny. I'm not going to sing though, so
Yeah.
just don't get excited. But she's like, silent night, all is calm, all
she's
is bright.
overacting the song. And
So she's singing, but the way that she'd be like, all is calm. Oh, and you're just like, oh yeah.
well,
yeah.
she's in key.
But she was.
Which is
The women were all
Like everyone's in key.
perfectly in key,
which is
but
more
they were
we can
just
say for Emma
singing weirdly.
when she sang her song earlier. But then we get the pretty blonde girl, and I think her name might be Sarah, and she comes in and she sings what's supposed to be the amazing Silent Night, but it is very mediocre,
Bad Singer 2.
right?
Sarah Luby.
Well, Sarah Luby probably was a good singer,
Yeah,
not a
she was
bad
the
singer.
good
But
yeah.
Sarah is the person who lands the role.
Well,
not-
she was in a musical.
Right.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway.
Right. Anyway, so the blonde girl who is the good singer gets the role, and she has like a sexy thing going on with the director. Like she like wants to like fuck the director.
But
Yeah,
she
who
also looks like 17.
Yeah,
She
very
can't
young.
be 20.
And Emma's like against this. Like she doesn't want it to happen because she's kind of jealous, I think, is what's going on there. And she's like, oh, I don't know. Like, are you guys going to just sing Silent Night the whole show? Like, maybe you should like write an original song. And Fletcher's like, yeah, you should write it. And she'll sing it. And she's
Boy,
like,
the stink eye that comes out of the blonde.
yeah, the blonde girl's like, I don't want to learn a song in 2 days.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
I mean,
you
she's
don't.
kind of right.
She's right.
She doesn't because
But she pulls rank, and she's basically like, well, the piano will be on the side, and the spotlight will be on me, so that's fine.
yeah. So she's going to sing the song. Emma's going to play the song and write the song.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So remember that Watch campaign?
Yeah.
That she
How
agreed
the
to do?
movie started.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
So Emma accidentally emails the owner of the watch company the script for the play.
Accidentally emails him? Okay.
Yeah, and he's like, "Why did you send me the script? I mean, it's a brave idea for an advertising campaign. I'm into it. I just need to know what you're thinking." And she's like, "Well, we're doing a play in Vermont, and you could live stream it on all your social media channels, and it's about a watch, so it works."
We can just have your watch be the watch
Yeah.
in the show.
That's smart, though.
Yeah.
Smart,
Yeah,
though.
great
you
spin.
accidentally...
Good spin.
you'd be
Great
like,
spin.
fuck. It's
Yes.
about a watch.
And he buys it, and he's like, "I'm into this. I'll book my ticket right now. I'll be there."
You got the goods, kid. Brr.
Yeah, I'll be there. I can't wait.
With his cigar. He's smoking a cigar the
And
whole time.
you know, she tells Fletcher what happened. She's like, "Oh, I messed up, but I kind of saved it, and it's gonna work, and it's gonna give your show a lot more publicity." And he's like, "You're just being opportunistic, and you're a dumb fucking whore."
I mean, quoted.
Yeah, quote.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, you stupid bitch.
No, but they get into a fight, and this is like the thing that tears them apart. You
Right,
know?
okay, yeah, you gotta have
But a
that.
snowstorm happens. Okay,
Oh.
snowstorm happens.
And they can't leave.
Oh, wait.
Everyone's
We
st-
forgot one
Yes.
very important part.
Okay.
So the man at the B&B with the great beard.
Yes.
Okay.
He
Santa Claus.
one quote that I no. One quote that I would like to
Too
go
short
back
for
to
Santa.
really quick is that when Lola and Fletcher were eating in the common area, Emma tries to sneak past, and he's like, "Emma," and like brings her over and basically forcefully sits her with them to eat. And he basically was like, he said, "Sharing a meal is mandatory here." Which was weird. So anyway, I had to tell you that.
Yes.
Flash 2, Fletcher's mom helps out a lot with Lola, but she's far away, but she's here now, like in the present moment. And then
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask, like, where's
the parents?
Where's the kid? Where's the kid's mom? Yeah.
Oh, she died.
Oh,
Lola's mom died.
And she's in heaven.
Fletcher's mom, so the grandma.
Oh, gotcha,
Yes.
gotcha.
So the grandma
she's in
is
heaven.
around, and then she meets the B&B guy, and she kind of paints.
For a hobby.
But she's a painter.
As a
but,
hobby,
But she
though.
kind of paints, and then he hasn't in years. So what we almost forgot to tell you, 4 days before the show opens, they paint a mural, and the mural's done. But the mural comes out of the fly system.
They mean
because
a
it is a
backdrop.
drop.
A backdrop.
It's not a mural, number one. So again, people have no concept of what I do. It is a backdrop. And I'm sorry, you painted a snow gorgeous treescape
Yeah.
of pine trees.
You can't do that?
And snow in a beautiful bluish
In one
winter
day?
haze.
You can't do that one day?
Keep being sarcastic.
Well,
You can't do that in one day?
Let me at least get the sentence out.
can
and
do
then you
it.
can do the bit.
If it's a hobby.
It is hung in the fly system. So painted, completed, and hung properly in less than 4 days. And we only spent 2 seconds talking about it. Not even wow, I can't believe this. This is amazing. Good job. It was
Right.
like, here you go. Okay.
They
Anyway,
didn't
do. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm losing my mind. That kind of thing takes like 6 to 7 months.
But they use that whole thing as a catalyst to bring the inn owner and the grandma together, and they become a couple at the end.
Yes.
That's the real reason that it exists, not to talk
Right.
about scenic design. But it's just ridiculous. Like,
Sorry that I had to.
no, but it's
this
just funny.
This is it's ridiculous, and it's just going like, okay, that's not
Right.
right, but okay.
So the snowstorm happens, and all the actors in the show are stranded and cannot get to the theater.
But yet-
what are you gonna do?
But yet, the house is full.
Yes, so
The actors couldn't make it, but everyone else in town
it is a
did.
sold out performance. Every seat is full. Maybe they didn't open the balcony, maybe just main floor. And
Well, Jerry's in the balcony.
Jerry is in the balcony.
I think this is another thing I mentioned on another episode.
Yeah.
That it's like an alien writing
Right.
a thing about.
Well, we know
human
it's not an
beings.
alien unless Anita Hughes is an alien. Then we'll have to ask her. But
Yes.
come on the show, talk about it, Anita.
Look,
Well,
I don't
and
know.
Patrick also pointed out, with this full house of people, there are Christmas trees in the aisles of the house.
Yeah,
Decorations
like
and
fire
Christmas
hazard
tree.
for sure.
Cool. Yeah.
No concept.
But what happens is, since the actors can't come,
Fire retardant Christmas trees.
right, sure. Since the actors can't come, Emma and Fletcher have to take on the roles, and the show must go on. This is how it works. Theater.
It's how theater works.
Emma performs her new song.
In a floor-length red gown and cocktail rhinestone necklace. She just had that in her Vermont bag where she was going to stay at her sister's house with her nieces.
Yes, and it's clearly a pre-recorded track. She's lip syncing to the track.
Yeah.
Thankfully for us,
Thank
because
God.
it sounds a lot better
Yeah, thank
than
God.
the other song.
Yeah.
But that's the
But he
show.
has to play
That's
the
the
piano.
show. That's the. We don't see anything else of the
Anything
play. It's just the one song. They kiss on stage, and then that's the
Standing
that's the-
fucking
Yes.
ovation.
Yeah.
He confesses
Yes.
his love after he plays the piano for her to sing because they had to go in but so the watch guy shows up right in time. He came in town. The actors that are local
They can't
could
get there.
not get there.
But he made it.
But he made it with the watch. Gives
Also,
her the watch.
all the roads are closed.
Yes.
Unacceptable.
The roads are closed.
for those actors. Hey,
They
you
just
guys-
didn't.
you
They just didn't want to come.
Right.
Oh, also they didn't know the show.
Well, they were-
because they just wrote it.
They just got
Correct.
the
Well,
script.
they were also probably worried because of the fact they knew that they were going out to sing one song. But I really want to point
and
out
they didn't know the show.
that
That would be the.
so we find out that this man, the watch guy, I swear to God, and I tried to look it up, but I'm pretty sure that his name is Ivan Seiko.
The watch guy. Oh, the CEO.
Yes.
Seiko.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Frost watches. But he was like
Great.
Ivan Seiko, and I'm like,
Hell yeah.
no
What?
way.
You gotta throw in a little thing.
Yep.
I
That's
don't know.
I thought that was so weird.
that's Anita Hughes just
That's
getting
fun.
in her joke.
But yeah,
Dude, Anita,
one
get it, girl,
one
get
song
it.
they
Get it, girl.
kiss, and
They
then
kiss. That's it.
erupting applause. Everybody's
Hell yeah.
standing.
Well, also
show
Jerry's
I've ever
Jerry's
seen.
in the balcony, and everyone like takes turns being like, "Hey, that's the guy who inspired me to follow my hobbies of being a scene painter.
He's an angel.
Hey, that guy made me have a hobby of playing piano."
Jerry's the angel.
And then he's like, he tips his hat and he like fades into like a bright light.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Does he really?
Yes.
You're not fucking with me?
No, this really happens.
Yes, I
So-
called it. He's the angel.
But then he drops the hat over the balcony, tries to get it, and splits his
And
pants
he
and farts through it.
he farts and shits his pants.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So Emma gets an offer from the watch guy to work in New York. He's like, "You're great. Come to my office in New York. We'll work there." And Fletcher gets a Broadway run, a full length Broadway run. Adaptation of this play that he
Because
just
it was
put on
live
because it was
streamed.
so good. It was
Yeah.
live streamed to 400,000 people.
400,000 people is what they said.
Yes. And then Emma and Fletcher are like, "Well, I guess we're moving to New York." And they're like, "We're in love," and they're going to move to New York, and they kiss, and that's the end.
And that's it. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I mean,
This
and
is hilarious.
what was also so funny is that like
I'm entertained.
here you've got
By
the
hearing
actress
this.
playing Lola, who is really good.
The Miley
and so
Cyrus.
she kind of sets the bar, right? And then you've got like the really bad, which is like, oh, okay, that's our demographic. Like, I feel like the sister was kind of really not good, but I don't want to say bad. But anyway,
The robot.
but
The AI.
they only
The-
show
the
their
sister
parents
AI.
like a couple of times.
Oh, wow.
But in the couple of seconds that we see the mom of Emma and
Robot.
the robot, that mom, as you know, when I say it, you can only imagine that mom was acting her ass off.
Oh yeah, chewing it up. Chewing
So
the scene.
look, there was a scene between Emma and the sister where they're talking back and forth, and the director decided to like show them, show Emma, show the sister, show the parents, show Emma, show the sister, show the or the sister, then Emma, then you know what I mean. So the dad is just like looking.
Typical.
The
dads.
mom is like,
She is. Every moment is on her face.
it's just yes.
And what?
It's unbelievable. But I like that these movies, it's like they just have like this ability where somebody figures out, well, if I'm only on there for a couple seconds, I'm gonna make sure it's
You
the
better
best second
Hell
that
yes.
anybody's ever
Get it.
seen.
That's
You
right.
Get it.
But yeah, so anyway.
Yep.
All right. So on the podcast, we either pour it up or put a cork in it. Emmett Couey, what are you going to do to this movie?
Patrick.
I know.
I mean, let me just think this through really quickly.
Well, and your whole experience,
I would
too,
like-
of watching.
Sure,
I
yeah.
want
That
to pour it
should
up
be included.
because of where I was
Yeah.
and the fact that it involved what I do for a living.
And that's a valid reason to pour one of these movies up.
Yes.
Is like your experience in watching it.
But I tend to not usually like things that give me anxiety. Like I am never ever going to be able to watch the Friends episode where Ross gets stuck in the leather pants and then can't put them back on. It gives me like heart palpitations.
Yikes.
And taking advice from
Well,
Joey.
right. And you don't need that.
So
But you like horror movies.
that's
so
different.
think about that.
My heart palpitations kind of outweighed on this one. So
Yeah.
I'm going to put a cork in this.
Yeah, that's fair.
There you go.
Also a good reason to put a cork in it.
Drew, how about you?
You know what? I'm gonna pour it up because I pour things up or put corks in things based on how you guys explain it to me, and I'll tell you what, I was entertained by all of this.
Well, there you go.
Not necessarily the movie, but
Sure.
you know, I'm pouring it up for you guys, telling me about the movie, and I'm like, what? This doesn't make sense.
Well, and that's the thing. We cut out all the exposition dialogue.
Yeah.
That was 2 hours of that.
Right?
And I'm sorry, I gotta put a cork in that.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
It was exhausting.
Totally get
Because
it.
if I had been by myself, what I would have done was written all the exposition in my notes, thinking it's important and that we're gonna come back to it and that we're gonna need it. But we didn't need,
You didn't need it.
any of it. None of it came back.
No.
Nothing came back. It was all like the plot is the plot, but that is
Right.
all I needed, and just some like baking and flower fights and stuff like that.
Like,
Right.
really, that's all we
Well,
need.
and
Yeah.
to the point where the stuff that did come back, we were so flooded with exposition that we forgot. We're like, oh yeah, the watch campaign.
Yeah, right. Like,
Right.
it's like, oh, wait.
Or like, oh
Right.
yeah, the pocket watch.
Right.
Or you know, yeah. So it'd just be like totally oh yeah moments because, you know,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
fair.
know. The
No,
scene
that's
they
fair.
painted in the very beginning, we didn't even come back to that
No.
for like an hour.
Nope.
Yeah.
All right, so that wraps up No Time Like Christmas.
No time.
I get it.
Do you guys
I
get it?
get it now as I watch.
Hey-o.
All right, let's do
Anyway.
a Candace.
Yay!
What you say? Candace Cameron Bure. On my wedding day, catch the bouquet. Candace hates the gays. Candace Cameron Bure. Drinking rosé, eating creme brulee. Can't share with me. Candace Cameron Bure. Yeah. What you say? Candace Cameron Bure.
Yeah.
All right, we're just taking some Insta stories here. No big deal.
No big deal.
But you know, that's kind of topical because we actually watch Candace's Instagram and we talk about it, and she loves to post on her stories, girl.
Even though she doesn't need to.
That's right. So I have a
Why
clip.
does she not need to?
Well, because she's a busy girl, living her life, and she doesn't need to post as much as she does because she gets backlash. That's it's
She
not
gets
good.
backlash, and it's her fault. It's her fault.
Speaking of backlash and speaking of LA, this was a very LA movie, except it was in Vermont for 90% of it, but they really set it up like it was going to be LA.
Yeah.
I have a little LA Candace for you. So here we go.
Observation in Minnesota versus LA. That's my option. Cream. Just cream.
Just that coffee
You
shop.
put LA. There's skim, 2%, whole, half and half, almond, coconut, soy, oat, cashew. Val said, that just goes to show you, real America versus, I don't know what we are in LA. Well, what I am, because I'm an LA girl, but yeah, I'm LA. I like my oat milk choices.
You gotta be careful, lady. Wow. You gotta be careful.
The privilege.
Isn't that insane?
Oozing from
she
that.
was so pissed about that creamer.
Wow, she
And
was.
the, and
She
the
was
idea
pissed.
that your first thought once you see it is to story and tell people about it.
up.
Instead
And-
of just going, oh, that's weird, and then maybe going to the grocery store and seeing
Or
if you
making-
need it that bad, or just drink it black.
Or making fun, like
Making fun.
or making fun of the differences,
The simple- the
rather than just being
simplicity
like,
of it.
It's so funny, or making fun. Actually, make fun of LA. That's
Right.
the easiest one to make fun of.
Yeah.
You did the opposite. She did the opposite.
Or the idea that that's her biggest problem that she has to deal with is
In
the fact that she
in
can't
Minneapolis?
put oat milk into her coffee.
And oat milk is delicious, but
it's also actually no. I
you disagree.
I think oat milk. Is
I think
disgusting.
it's good. I mean, I love oatmeal, so why wouldn't I like oat milk?
I mean,
I
that
love,
is- good point. Good point. I don't
Honey
know.
bunches of oats.
Though, what we learned, or
But
what
what they don't understand in LA is that us folk in the north, we gotta layer up with the creams.
No, because
We
that's not true. She
No, I
probably
don't.
could have gone down the street to Starbucks and there would have been all the milk she could have ever died
they have-
for.
they
But
still
she
have all the
decided to
things.
go probably somewhere cute that is owned by...
At least she didn't tag the place and be like, fuck this place with
Right.
their cream. So good job, Candace.
But she could have, even if she was like, fuck this place and their cream, and people probably still would have gone
People in
because
that
they
town-
don't like Candace.
Right.
Anyway.
I don't know.
No, one thing we learned from Drew's
Who knows?
mom is that her friend is a dairy farmer, and there's like this war happening between
Yes.
dairy and other things that say they're milk. So
Yep.
they're kind of like trying to outlaw the ability to use the word
Milk.
the same way that
Yeah.
you're not allowed to say veggie patties or like like anything that is not what it is. You
Right.
can't use that word.
So you couldn't say
So
oat milk. You would
it's
just say
essentially
oat water.
It's essentially oat. No,
I mean,
it's
that's
it's
what it is.
Almond water.
No, it's almond juice.
Ew.
It sounds disgusting.
And I see- I see where
But
they're-
so people think it's healthy, so that's why they're like, I'm gonna drink almond milk because that's healthy.
Yes.
Where so it's doing a
that's so interesting.
Configure
Yeah.
to people.
Yeah.
Where if you related almond juice, then you go, oh, that's sugar and process and all of that. Where like whole milk, like Drew's lactose intolerant, and the milk that that she was bringing from the farm,
Yeah.
he was drinking
It's raw.
Right.
It's raw.
tons of milk
Unpasteurized.
every day.
Because you can.
Yeah.
Because there's like, I don't know, raw milk is
Yeah.
unpasteurized. It just has all these cool things in it that don't make me immediately shit my pants.
Right.
So it was like having that.
Yeah.
But
This
then they're
is
just
the
like,
thing.
you can't call it milk because
Right.
it's not milk.
So there's like this kind of war.
Well, yeah, it makes sense.
So-
It
It's
makes
bloody.
sense.
So
A
you
lot
can
of
be
people
ahead
have
of the
died.
curve, basically, lifetime listeners.
A lot of people
if
have
you
died.
decide to refer to your oat juice as oat juice,
Your stupid oat juice.
or almond juice.
And your
I hate it.
Your
I hate
stupid
it.
almond juice.
All right. I
Yeah.
think that wraps up this episode. Couey, do you have anything you'd like to plug in the pluggy time?
Just check out my handles. They all start with Couey Art, COUEYART. I'm all over everywhere. And hit me up if you ever want me to explain to you what a career in the arts is.
Yeah, because it's a career, not a hobby.
Yep.
Career, not a hobby.
Making
It's
a
job.
living.
It
If
is
you
a
take
job.
nothing away, it's a career, not a
It's a
hobby.
career, not a fucking hobby, guys.
Drew, how about you?
You can find me at Drew But with Pants.
Wow.
I don't even know my own thing.
It's fine. I
And you
didn't
can-
do the intro a couple of weeks
Yeah.
ago. I just stopped in
You're
mid-intro.
like, you know what? Fucking, you know what you're listening
Yeah,
to.
we're here.
And you can find my band, The Limbos, on all the things that you can listen to.
Yeah. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you, Patrick.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And thank you, listeners, for checking in with Lifetime in Court. You can follow me at Patrick Miguel or the podcast at Lifetime in Court. Don't forget to rate and review us. We want 200 reviews for the holidays.
It's a Christmas present to
We're
us.
so close.
200 for 2020.
Yeah, 200 for 2020.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The Roaring 20s
Perfect.
need 200.
Last year we got 100, just
100
like we
for the
asked
holidays.
for, and you guys did it. And
You did
all
it.
you have to do is put an emoji on there. Boom.
Yep.
That's it. You don't have to fucking say anything.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You don't have to say shit.
In
You
fact,
be
just
like,
pick your favorite emoji
just be
and
like,
post that.
Eiffel
Yeah.
Tower emoji.
That's
Love it.
True, that's phallic.
That's cute.
I mean, if you want it to be phallic, then
Ooh,
it can be phallic.
Okay.
That's for Patrick.
Oh, wow.
Let it be for
Okay, any boys out there listening. All right. That wraps up this episode. Okay, bye.
Bye.